actually think these were easier to do. 1 and
Yeah.
2 was easier than 3, 4, and 5.
My 1 was easy. The other one's not so much.
Okay, so since I started with number 3, let's start with Gerald. Hasn't started yet. Let's do what's your number 2, Gerald?
My number 2 game came out in 2007 from Bungie. It's Halo 3.
Excellent choice.
Halo had to be on your list. I would
Of
be
course.
mad if Halo was on your list.
After all, now, are you talking? Do you have fond memories of the campaign, or is it just online?
I mean, I obviously played the campaign, enjoyed it a lot, but I don't know. There's no other multiplayer game I've ever played that have gotten me ups and downs. Either I'm at a 10 because we're just having so much fun playing zombies, chasing each other and stuff, or I'm at a 1 and I'm hating life because I got sniped or something and I just suck at this game.
Yeah.
But just like I've played more of that game than I probably have in any multiplayer game. I've had more fun playing that game. I've had more frustration playing that game. It's just
Halo makes me mad. That game makes me.
Yeah.
I curse a lot. when
Same
I play
here.
Halo. I love it, but I curse a lot.
But the highs and just like all of, I mean, yeah, we haven't played with you obviously, but like I played with Chuck, I played with David, I played
Yeah.
with so many of our friends playing together. It's just so much fun, that game.
What made you pick 3?
Just the multi, because I wasn't a big Halo 2 guy. I didn't have original
See,
Xbox.
Halo 2.
Halo 2.
That was ours,
It was
yeah.
my 6. I didn't make it on there.
That's what it was for most of you, but I didn't have an original Xbox,
Yeah.
so I started with the 360.
And
so
I
that's why it was
remember,
3.
I remember Halo 2 being like the one that we played in college all the time. But
Yeah.
3 got rid of dual wielding, right?
Right.
That's what I didn't like. I loved the dual wielding. They got rid of that.
Yeah, but they brought Forge with 3.
I
Yeah.
know the Forge was a big argument in my head about which one to pick.
Oh,
Forge was
like-
excellent. Zombies and stuff.
oh yeah.
Brains. You know, us chasing around
That
and
was
stuff
so
with the
much fun.
swords.
Sharks versus zombies. that
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it was
Oh.
awesome. So much fun.
Is that where they brought in jetpacks and the
No,
shield? and
one
that
is like
stuff?
super fast with a sword, and then everyone else has a shotgun. But it's like they have no
No,
shields.
I know, but in Halo, I'm just saying, in Halo 3 in general, is that the one that started with the jet, where you could have
Like
a
the
jetpack
loadout?
with the different things?
No, it's
'Cause
Halo
2
4.
didn't have that.
4 had the jetpacks.
Did Reach have that maybe?
No,
Reach
Maybe
might have.
Reach, but
'Cause I had
it was
Reach
Reach.
in 3. I had a 360. They just lost me when they got to Xbox One.
But also, I mean, I think 3 is essentially when we stopped doing LAN parties. Because I remember we did 2 with LAN parties.
That's what kind of sucked about the internet. I have to say, it kind of ruined LAN parties, because like it used to be a lot of fun to get your friends together and we'd all bring our computers over. Well, I'd borrow someone's computer.
Yeah.
I couldn't bring one over.
yeah, but you know how
it
busy
was-
you are now.
yeah,
that would be
that
so
wouldn't work
difficult to
now.
pull off these days.
But there,
Yeah,
I know what you're
know.
saying. Like you miss,
It's different though. It was like, okay, like before you got a car. Remember, like everybody would just come to your house and you just walk all over the place.
Yeah.
and it was it was so much fun. You just walking
have
around,
a
and then
bike.
it was like cars showed up, and it was like it's awesome to be able to go anywhere you want.
how old are you?
But like I miss being able to just walking around with your friends, like because you get in more crazy situations.
Yeah,
when you're
shenanigans.
Walking,
Yeah.
walking
Shenanigans.
around. I don't know. It was I miss the quaintness.
Yeah,
It was
not gonna
like,
have that anymore.
Me and Chuck lived in a house, and we had this big 3-car garage, but one of the spots was held with like a boat that my mom's friend had this boat that it was in our house, and it was like in the way, but like it made the garage quaint, and we would all hang out in this like extra little space. One day the boat, because we practically ruined it, but
We scratched the crap out of it.
out of the boat, and the owner of the boat wanted it back, and they were like, "Oh, sorry about the scratches," but so they took the boat out, and then it was like, "Oh, we have more space," and I was like, "Ah, it ruined our quaintness." I like quaint. I like
Cozy.
it when it was.
That's why you like this. We're all
Yeah,
Yeah, we're all
quaint right now.
close. This is great.
I enjoy that part, and I think LAN parties was quaint. Like it was cool.
No, I
and,
get that.
And then when you brought the internet, we're bringing a bunch of 12-year-olds who are better than me at a game I've been playing for 4.
well, that's why you
And,
play online, but you just play with your friends.
Yeah.
It is harder though.
I'm
I get what
just
you're saying.
I
Yeah.
miss
See, that's
those days.
that's exactly why I like board games. As Vanna White, the behind us. That's I've come to love board games because it has that quaintness. You have to sit down at a table. You can't do it over the
Right.
internet because seeing the look on your friend's face or hearing them scream, from down the hallway
Exactly.
was so much fun. And you would take breaks, like when everyone's eyes were completely bloodshot, and you would come into the kitchen and talk about what just happened. Like you don't do that anymore.
Or you run in and punch your friend
Yeah.
because he just killed you, and you're just sitting like, I loved that.
Go unplug it.
Yeah, oh yeah, totally. Just unplug their controller. They're like, "What's going on? Oh, you're cheating!" Ah.
Yeah, so much fun, so much fun. All right,
So that's my number 2.
all right, Jordan, what is your number 2?
Number 2 is what probably you guys thought would be my number 1, but Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
of Zelda. I loved that game so much. I played so much of that game, and it was the first game that I went out and the day it came out, and I actually got it. I don't know how I convinced my parents to take me out to Target at like 8 o'clock on a school night to go buy that game, but I did, and it was amazing. And I just remember my best friend came over that day, Travis, and we just sat in front of Marco, and he did not want to go home, and we just played like the full first level, and his mom kept calling, "Where's Travis?" And I'm like, "He's busy. Leave us alone." You know, I was like, "We got school. Like, I don't care about school right now. We got things going on." This game was amazing. We would just like every time we run into things that were problems of puzzles and this and that, we like at school we talking about it. Did you get to the water temple yet? Like it would be so. It was just so exciting.
We even had that. I remember when Wind Waker came out. Me and you had like we were trying to see who could finish the game first.
Right.
And I think one of our classes we had like something come up that the other person wasn't in, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna beat me because I have this stupid project to do." But yeah, definitely that just keep moving and keep talking about what's the next thing. What's the
we
next
wouldn't
thing?
want to share with each other like, "Oh, where you found that key?"
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I don't know.
I'm like, I can't get out of this temple. You're like, well, I don't know how to get out of it.
Epona was awesome. Like riding a horse around. Like I
Yeah.
loved that. It was so cool. You go around so fast. I don't know. It just again, N64 is like the most revolutionary system for us, so we never done anything like it. But yeah, just being able to travel quickly like that, and even just playing the songs that were available.
Yeah, I mean, the music in that
collecting the
game
music was awesome. I literally had the Princess Zelda song was in my wedding. Like
I remember
Nice.
that.
That was so awesome.
I remember we
Yeah.
were there, and I'm like, I take a
Yeah.
second, I'm listening, I turn to my wife, I'm like, this is from Zelda. And
Yeah,
she's like,
I
of course
had
it
a-
is. Of course it
That's
is.
had
so
a
awesome.
remixed Princess Zelda song.
Yeah, like the
playing
violin
as we
version.
walked out
It's a
because I was like, it feels like I won the game, and that's the song that plays at the end of the game. And like, I won the
Aw, I'm
game,
gonna
got
tear
a
up
beautiful
here.
wife here.
Aw,
And,
she needs to listen to this episode now.
No, she won't. But either way, Zelda's a huge part of my life, and that was the best Zelda game I ever played. I loved it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure it's always highly rated on all of the lists. When I was doing, looking up, top 10 games like from Slant and Slant.com and IGN, that's always at the
There's
very
just
top.
so much to do too.
Yeah.
You could keep playing it over
huge.
and over. It's
The walking
huge.
distance, the first time you go like walking out into the
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
that- like we probably wouldn't have GTA if there wasn't that.
Yeah.
Because that was the beginning of these huge
Open world giant.
open
Yeah.
world that you could just go places. I mean, they blocked it in weird ways, like some guy standing.
Yeah,
in
it was
the
still
way.
technically
Right.
linear, but yeah.
Right, but you can beat it in totally weird ways. Like
Now it's-
you don't have to.
We already
beat
talked
it.
about you beating it with just a bottle, right?
Right, but
You
like
need a bug.
even okay, once you become an adult, like you get to choose which levels you go to, because you have to get the right tools. But like I would go into the forest temple, get my longer shot, and then leave and never finish it, and then go to the water temple and get whatever tool I wanted there, and then leave. And
So it had choice.
So you didn't have to actually beat it in that order
That's
if you
cool.
didn't want to.
Yeah, and
There's
that's
certain places you can't. You can't get to the Shadow Temple until you do some certain things. But you were able to kind of make your own path if you knew what you were doing. You had to play it through linear the first time, otherwise you have no idea what to do.
all right. So that was your number 2. Chuck, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Excellent.
Nice.
That was probably an honorable mention for me. That was
Yeah,
that
same
was
here. That was
teetering on the
almost on my
5.
list.
The GameCube one was just the epitome of it. I mean,
Why-
I remember on the 64 when it came
That
out,
was-
and it was like, wow, like you're fighting Mario and Luigi and Donkey Kong, and then Melee just took it to a whole nother
Yeah.
place. I mean, it got so much just smoother. It looked great. I mean, you never seen Mario like that. They never really made a Link like that.
Yeah.
You
Even today. I mean, well, I guess kind of the Skyward Sword, sort of.
and
looks like
definitely
that,
no
yeah.
Samus. There was never really a Samus 3D like that. Even when it came out, it was finally a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
when Prime
Metroid.
came out,
Yeah.
And just spending hours fighting as the same people over and over and
Yeah.
over, just enjoying it every time.
That game, more than any of the fighting games, had that feeling of you're this close to winning every single match. You know what I mean? A lot of games that, specifically when we would play you, like if I played Madden against you, there was no chance. I think one time I played you and I played as like the best team and you played as like the worst, and I won by like a point. And
That
I,
was NFL 2K.
Yeah, one of
Worst
those.
teams against Chuck is not even fair.
Yeah, but but
like-
mostly all games are like that.
But combining Chuck's two main, like he knows everything about sports and everything about video games. You play sports, video games, you don't have a chance. Melee, I have a chance. As
Right,
Falco.
and that's what I'm saying is like it didn't it because it was kind of it had that button mashing. You could have fun playing it, not knowing anything, and then there was definitely strategy involved in that. But I just remember that game. It was so tenseful. I don't think that's a word. So tense, so intense that every single match felt like I had a chance to win. And I played as Mario. That was my guy.
Dude, Jigglypuff all the way.
Jigglypuff?
Chuck plays as Jigglypuff. I hate it when
I like to be
Chuck plays
annoying as Jigglypuff.
Yeah, same here.
But I'm a Link person. That's who I roll with is Link.
Yeah, I think my other guy was probably Yoshi. I just never went away from Mario. It's kind of a toss up there, but yeah, that game is fantastic, and I think that we played that a ton. I remember playing that just so much.
So much.
But that didn't have an online component, right?
No.
not
So
yet.
again, that's why I think that game was right time, right place, right time. Because I remember playing that on a couch.
I remember playing that to the point where I literally would fall asleep mid jump. Like
Oh, yes.
I would
remember him
play.
doing
Well,
that
of
all the
course,
time.
I fall asleep all the time. I can't help myself. But I would be mid jump and I would just pass out. And, they'd be like, and then they just, what happened to Jordan's character?
Yeah.
Like Falco is doing nothing right now, and I'd just be passed out on the couch.
I remember one of the unlocks was like you had to have the game on for like a certain amount of hours continuously. So we would just like
Leave
leave
it
it
on
on and
overnight.
just. It's ridiculous. Why don't games do that anymore? Anyways.
I remember you have friends who'd be like, pick somebody else. Stop being the same person.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't do it that way anymore because they can charge you $5 and you get to unlock their character.
Yeah, there's more and more of that. I think, though, the good thing about what online has done with, like, secret characters is because they don't want to divide up the online component, everybody gets, like, the character for free, and then there's other things you can unlock. I don't know.
See, I like the first couple Smash Brothers because it was harder to get the secret characters, and now it's just like every 10 times you play a Melee, you get a free character. So I would just play like everybody on like 300%, one life, 300% damage, and then I just hit them once and until I free all the characters up.
That's the other reason I like that game. It wasn't a health bar. You could technically win with having 300% damage. You know what I mean?
They
Like
changed the game.
Right. Yeah, it was awesome. So yeah, definitely a good game. It was
Smash Brothers should have made the list. There were 6.
Yeah, exactly.
We're doing a 6 through 10 list one day.
We should. We totally should go backwards.
There's so many great games. I had like 25 games. You make me pick 5. I hate it.
All right, my number 2. My number 2 game of all time, Fallout New Vegas. Now, I know
Wow.
most people would pick Fallout 3. Fallout New Vegas has there's a couple reasons specifically to me. One, we live in Las Vegas.
It is cool seeing like the locations, like Nipton. I don't know,
Yeah,
that's
there's like, we've actually been to Nipton. We took our engagement photos at Nipton or Minden or whatever. These small little towns. And like, there's a part where you go to the giant, solar panel farm in the game, and there's a giant solar panel farm right next to State Line. So it has a special place because of that. But again, the mechanics were the same as Fallout 3. I don't think they even changed anything. Wayne Newton is the person who's over the radio. The music felt more, it played like Fly Me to the Moon. It played more, Vegas centric, I think of like lounge music. And then when you get to New Vegas, like all the casinos
the
and
stratosphere.
yeah, it's so cool. So it has a special place just because of the location. Obviously the game is amazing, but I love Fallout's ridiculous storytelling. I'm so excited for 4 because the game, the stories in those games, and this is kind of going back to the games that I love now. I go to games for narrative, honestly. Like I look to games to tell a great story where Mario, Zelda, those games, maybe Zelda, some people might argue with me, but Mario, it's Save the Princess. There's no narrative built into it. It's all gameplay and it's great mechanics, but like I played Mario Galaxy. I'm not a big fan of it because it doesn't tell a narrative anymore. I look to Fallout, I look to
there's zero story in Mario
Half-Life.
Galaxy.
Right, and that's what I'm saying is like those are the games that I look for. Those are my favorite games right now, because they provide that narrative. That's why I think Fallout New Vegas it's always Fallout 4. I'm sure will be probably.
Dude, I'm gonna be gone when Fallout 4 comes out. I'm just gonna stop talking to everybody for like 2 months.
We're gonna have to get a new details guy for those episodes.
Yeah, I'm like, sorry guys, I can't play Fallout 4.
Well, I
Guess
feel
my what you doing is gonna be for the next 2 months. Fallout 4.
I hope you're available, Chuck.
All right, so that's my number 2. Okay, that's everyone's number 2. We've gone through everyone's number 2.